a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is Mitu.
And my name is BJ.
And this week, we're watching the listener-requested Sunny Nights on Hulu.
So stay tuned to find out what Mitu's startup business would be about.
Whoa, I'm a business woman.
And we'll support you.
Until then, why don't you tell us what happens in this Australian TV show?
Sure. Will Forte and Darcy Carden play Martin and Vicky, two siblings attempting to start a new spray tan business venture in Sydney, Australia. But they stumble into the criminal underworld trying to stay out of prison, stay alive, and keep their business running. So, Mitu, what were your first impressions?
When I saw Darcy Carden and Will Forte in the image, I thought they would be lovers. But I like them better as siblings. I think it's so fun to see their dynamic come out. I thought overall the show, in a weird way, felt a bit slow despite so many wild things happening. But the thing that I kept coming back to was the dynamic. Martin being this shy, smart guy, and Vicky being a very fierce protector. Also that a lot of people just open up to.
I think she opens up people to her.
Yes, that's true.
She is the more outgoing one. And I think you bring up a good point. The sibling dynamics work really well in their banter, how they fight, but also support each other. And I thought it was impressive that they established that chemistry from the beginning. I didn't feel like they needed to tell us too much about their childhood or history. We just felt it.
Yes, I completely agree. I thought they used a great first example of they're at this business convention kind of thing at a hotel, and Martin is nervous to go to dinner with his estranged wife, Joyce. And the way Vicky both hypes him up for the dinner, but is also like, she's not good enough for you, bro. She left. And so is equal parts caring and tough, but at the end of the day, just fiercely wants to protect Martin, was a great little moment that to me fully explained their relationship.
And while she does stand up for her brother, wants to protect him, support him, when it comes to their shared business venture, she is a little more of a risk taker, despite Martin being the finances behind the company.
And if I can remember correctly, his job was risk assessor, accountant, something very much the opposite of allowing Vicky even access to a shared bank account. Overall, the show was so stressful to watch. Vicky spending money left and right, making wild decisions for their business left and right. Martin making wild decisions left and right. They clearly used stress as sort of a plot device, but I genuinely wanted to reach through the screen. And I know I've said that phrase before, but I really, really mean it in this one. There are several moments where they have clear outs and they just don't take it. And on other shows, sometimes they'll kind of pretend like they're not aware of the outs available to them. In this one, and I just don't want to reveal anything, so I'm trying to be careful about spoilers, they pretty much discuss the options. And they choose every time the scarier, riskier to their lives and livelihood option.
You are constantly watching them make mistakes, and it's stressful, and it is hard to watch, and that's 45 minutes of it. And like you said, you often hear them discuss A or B. A is within our means. B could cause us problems. And then they just choose B every time.
Including Martin. I know we had smoke for Vicky and her poor spending habits, but Martin is right there next to her making bad decisions. There is a moment where he is in this criminal underworld situation, maybe the right word here is someone thinks that they have leverage on him, but they don't. And I just don't understand.
Just speak up.
The issue.
I think what we learn about these siblings, the Marvin siblings, that they have in common, they each have one goal. And that goal is what determines every decision they make. Vicky, she wants to have her chance at success. She wants to make it. She wants to prove everyone wrong that she can do things. She can be accomplished. Martin has this ideal relationship in his head, and he wants to make that happen. And neither of them are thinking about how to realistically achieve those goals.
The business alone, Tan's Form, great name, is such a ridiculous attempt to achieve the goals. Vicky describing how she came into the business was one of the few out loud laughs I had in the midst of all the stress and being very tense. That was very funny. But they want to do a tanning salon in Australia, a pretty sun-forward environment.
But if you can make it there, you can make it around the world.
That's true. I mean, if you can sell tanning salons to Australians, then maybe you have some ice to sell next.
And I bet you Vicky would try to sell someone ice.
I thought that even at the end of the episode, without spoilers, Vicky makes what I think is one of the smartest moves that these two could possibly make. Okay. And Martin turns his back on it. He goes, no.
She brings up one of the smartest options that they can do.
Yes. And she seems closer on it. And yet he goes, no safety. Let's go all in on this.
Yes, because as I said in the summary, there's crime. They do get involved in the criminal underworld pretty quickly. And it has all the risks you might assume. There could be money, there could be drugs, there could be violence. A violence warning for this episode as well. And I don't know, I think if it was us, the violence, the threat of violence, the hint of violence would get us to turn around.
We wouldn't even be in the problem in the first place. In some of these, I could see maybe BJ and we could be tricked into something like this. Or, I can see how a person could get caught up. You and I would not have the issue from the first place. From Martin meeting someone at a bar, you and I, first thing, don't really connect with strangers that much. So,
and I wouldn't spend money on the top shelf alcohol.
We don't drink. So it's just it's just not possible for us to be in this scenario. But even if setting aside all of these things, you and I suddenly find ourselves in this situation, we're on the flight back. And at that point, we're spending so much money anyway. We're going to do lie flat seats. We're going to fly back in luxury.
To help us cope and forget with the trauma.
Decompress and leave it behind. You're not going to be able to extradite me back to Australia. So it's just in the rearview mirror. But like you said, it is very violent. There is even an exploding animal.
In the opening, there is a lot of violence, a lot of fighting, a lot of people hurting people, animal getting hurt. And it is tough to understand their motivation, despite me already explaining their two goals. But I guess they just believe in Tan's Form. And Martin secretly wanting to be near his estranged wife.
What will be interesting to watch in the show, and we can maybe get into ratings for Sunny Nights on Hulu, is where those dual motivations will take them. Because right now, they're kind of telling each other that they're there for each other. But you're right. I think you've crystallized it so perfectly. Martin wants this ideal situation that he believes should be his home life. And Vicky wants to prove people wrong. She's more than just the niece who once was a dope runner for Uncle Rick. And so what does this mean for when those goals obviously, inevitably clash.
And I think they truly believe, whether they're lying to themselves or not, that this spray tan business can solve all their problems.
I mean, if they're able with their spray tan business in Australia to help reduce rates of skin cancer, far be it from me to knock this idea.
I don't think there's SPF in the spray tan. I think just antioxidants.
Well, I think they said it just meant less time outdoors. Like you achieve that glow without sitting out on the beach.
I feel like if I lived in Australia, I'd be at the beach all the time.
That's true.
Anyway, what would you rate Sunny Nights on Hulu?
I would watch again while cooking for a couple reasons. This first episode dragged just a little bit for me, but lots of good tension, very high stakes, funny, with two great leads. You and I are Darcy Cardenhive all the way, and Will Forte. But the reason I would watch while cooking and not watch again seriously is because I genuinely need something to break the tension. Like, I need to be doing something with my hands, around my kitchen, whatever, that is not staring at the screen, fully engrossed in these people making terrible decisions, and also all the blood. Because I assume this first episode is just a taste of what's to come.
I think that is reasonable. We probably will see more violence and crime. I would also rate this watch while cooking. I think being distracted is the perfect way to get through this story. Because sitting there 100% focused is tough. Not good for your nervous system.
I felt tense. Like, my body genuinely felt tight. So I guess shout out to the show, because, like, I assume that's what they wanted you to feel, and they got it.
Great job, writers. I do wish I could help Martin and Vicky, but I can't.
What was the question?
What would be your startup business venture?
Ooh, my startup business venture would be who wants to give me money? And it would just be like giving people the opportunity to give me money. And then it's like, oh, with this amount of money raised, like I can go part-time. With this amount of money raised, now I don't have to work. Oh, like even more money. Now you're buying books for me and things for my pet, and like just leading an enriching life because people are investing in me.
Are you an influencer?
No, I would never like publicly discuss these things. Just sort of impact updates. Like, you know, when you give money to a nonprofit and it's like, with $5, we're able to feed this or deliver this. So it'd be like, oh, with this amount of money achieved, like now I have this many more like fun little knickknacks around my house.
You're not a nonprofit because
No.
you can say that. Okay.
No.
Then the donors don't get anything besides these updates of
the
how
satisfaction
you spent the
of
money.
knowing I'm leading a rich life.
Huh. It sounds like something, but I'm not going to say what it sounds.
Oh, no. I didn't even think about
that. Being kept in a nice lifestyle.
Please, I read that in the news this morning. Stop. No, that's not. I take it back.
I know
that's
not what you meant. You truly just want someone to just give you money and move on.
I always joke with my mom that like my formal retirement plan is like investments, this, that. My informal retirement plan is like someone just walking up to me on the street and being like, you look like you deserve about $2 million. And then I go, yeah, like, you're right.
And they just transfer it to you, no questions.
Yes. And also no issues with the money, like no crime, nothing like,
yeah.
You know.
They're just wealthy with excess.
Yes. And they just look at me and they're like, I can tell in your heart, like you're someone who should just like take a break. You don't have to work. Like you're good.
I hope that dream comes true for you.
My mom does too. She earnestly is always like, I hope someone does do that for you, honey. And it's like, thanks, Mom.
I do too, because I'd be like, me too. Let's go out to dinner. Your treat.
Well, now it's not unlimited money. I can't just blow it.
You'll invest some.
Okay. You see how you just had your hand out? This is what happens. More money, more problems.
You asked for it.
All
This
right.
is your dream.
Where can people find more episodes of the Pilot Podcast where we do not give financial advice, but we do tell you where you can find TV shows to watch?
You can head to thepilotpodcast.com and you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms for free.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week, just like this one, we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners, to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.